Sometimes, some love stories don't really end, they just fade into silence. And one of the most talked about, emotional, and controversial relationships in Hollywood history is the story of Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Even today, years later, fans still ask one burning question. Does Justin Bieber still love Selena Gomez? Some say it's just the past. Others believe that real emotions never truly disappear. And recently, a wave of social media posts, old memories, and fan theories has once again brought this debate back into the spotlight. In this video, we're going to break it all down: facts, rumors, psychology, and fan perspectives. Because this story is not as simple as it looks. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez were once considered the ultimate teenage power couple. Back in the early 2010s, both were young, extremely famous, and constantly in the spotlight. Their relationship quickly became a global obsession. Fans even gave them a name, Yelena. Red carpet appearances, paparazzi photos, and emotional interviews made them look like a real-life fairy tale. But behind the fame and glamour, their relationship was also full of pressure, misunderstandings, and emotional ups and downs. They broke up, got back together, and broke up again. It was a cycle that lasted for years. And eventually, the story came to an official end. Or did it? After their final breakup, most people assumed the story was over. But something interesting happened. Fans started noticing small things. Old interviews resurfaced. Emotional songs were analyzed. Social media activity was overanalyzed. And even random moments were linked back to their past. This created a powerful internet narrative. Backhand index pointing right. Maybe it's not completely over emotionally. But here's the truth. Fans often read too deeply into celebrity lives. Every action becomes a clue. Every song becomes a message. Every post becomes a hidden meaning. And that's how rumors are born. When Justin Bieber married Hailey Bieber, many believed it would finally close the Yelena chapter forever. But instead, it created a new wave of debate. Fans became divided. Some said Justin has clearly moved on. Others believed his emotional past still holds meaning. And Selena fans continued comparing everything: songs, interviews, expressions, and even social media moments. But the reality is more grounded. Public figures live under constant interpretation. Recently, certain social media posts, throwback edits, and fan discussions went viral again. And once more, people started asking, does Justin still have feelings for Selena? Some point to emotional nostalgia. Others point to old songs and memories resurfacing. But there is also another side of the argument. Backhand index pointing right, it's not love. It's just nostalgia and shared history. The internet often confuses emotional memory with present feelings. And that confusion keeps this topic alive. Even normal actions get turned into theories. Psychology suggests something interesting. First, serious love leaves a permanent emotional imprint. It doesn't mean you are still in love, but it means you never fully forget it. Justin and Selena both experienced fame, pressure, and emotional intensity at a very young age. That combination creates strong memories that last long. But memory is not the same as desire. And this is where fans often misunderstand the situation. Yelena wasn't just a couple. It was a cultural moment. For many fans, it represents a golden era of pop culture.
A teenage fantasy romance.
A time when social media love stories felt real and raw. Old fan edits, Instagram pages, emotional edits, and music associations still keep the memory alive. And sometimes, nostalgia feels like reality. But nostalgia is powerful. It can make the past feel more alive than it actually is. If we look at reality without emotions or fan theories, Justin Bieber is married and focused on his current life. Selena Gomez is building her own successful journey. Both have moved forward in their personal and professional lives. So the most balanced truth would be, backhand index pointing right, the past holds memories, but the present defines reality. There is respect for what they shared. But that does not necessarily mean ongoing romantic feelings exist. We also have to understand how the internet works today. Titles like, Justin still loves Selena. Shocking truth revealed. This changes everything. These are designed to grab attention. not always reflect reality. Clickbait culture turns old stories into new drama again and again. And that's why this topic never really dies online. The story of Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez is not just about two celebrities. It represents first love, emotional growth, public pressure, and the power of internet nostalgia. But the biggest lesson here is simple. Not every memory is a sign of current emotion. Sometimes people just move forward while the internet stays stuck in the past. So now the question is for you. Do you think this is just nostalgia and fan imagination? Or is there still something deeper behind it? Let me know your thoughts in comments. And if you enjoy deep celebrity stories like this, make sure to subscribe for more. Because in Hollywood, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. And sometimes the line between truth and theory is very thin. There are stories that end, and then there are stories that refuse to disappear. They don't stay alive because of reality. They stay alive because of memories, emotions, and the internet's obsession with what if. And one of those stories is the relationship between Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Even in 2026, years after their breakup, people still replay old interviews, analyze old songs, and zoom into old photos trying to find one answer. Does Justin Bieber still love Selena Gomez? Some people say it's completely over. Others believe something emotional still exists in the background. But the truth is far more complicated than a simple yes or no. Because this story is not just about love. It's about fame, timing, pressure, growth, and millions of fans who never emotionally let go. So today, we are going deeper than ever before. Not just rumors, not just fan theories, but the full emotional breakdown of what really happened and why people still can't move on. To understand this story, we have to go back to the beginning. Justin Bieber was not just a singer. He was a global teenage phenomenon. And Selena Gomez was not just an actress. She was Disney's sweetheart and a rising music star. When these two worlds collided, the internet exploded. They were young, famous, and constantly under cameras. Every moment of their relationship became public entertainment. Fans didn't just watch them, they emotionally invested in them. That's why they were given a name. Backhand index pointing right, Yelena. And Yelena was not treated like a normal couple. It became a brand, a fantasy, and a cultural moment. People were not just watching a relationship, they were watching a modern fairy tale unfold in real time. But fairy tales in real life are not perfect. They are messy, emotional, and often painful. What fans often forget is this. Justin and Selena were extremely young when everything started. And they were not normal teenagers. They were global celebrities. Every argument became public. Every breakup became news. Every reconciliation became viral. Imagine trying to build a relationship while millions are watching you. Paparazzi follow you everywhere. Social media is constantly judging you. Fans are fighting over your love life. That is not a normal relationship environment. It is emotional pressure at a massive scale. And slowly, that pressure started affecting everything. Love was there, but so was stress. Justin and Selena's relationship was not simple. It was an on and off cycle for years. They would break up, then reconnect, then break again. This cycle created confusion for fans. People couldn't understand. Backhand index pointing right, are they together or not? Backhand index pointing right, is this love or attachment? Backhand index pointing right, is this real or just emotional dependency? But in reality, relationships under emotional pressure often become unstable, especially when both individuals are still growing personally and in the middle of fame. Even small misunderstandings become huge emotional events. Eventually, the cycle ended, but the emotional impact didn't. Even after their final breakup, something interesting happened. The relationship ended. But the internet didn't accept the ending. Old clips started resurfacing. Old songs were reanalyzed. Old interviews were rewatched millions of times. Fans started creating theories. This lyric is about Selena. This post is a hint. This interview shows hidden feelings, and slowly, Yelena stopped being a real relationship and became an internet mystery. This is where reality and imagination started mixing. When Justin Bieber married Hailey Bieber, many believed the Selena story would finally end. But instead, it created a new wave of discussion. Some fans accepted it. Backhand index pointing right, he moved on, end of story. But others couldn't disconnect emotionally. Backhand index pointing right, what if he still feels something? And this is where social media plays a big role. Because the internet does not like closure. It prefers ongoing drama. So even a married life becomes part of Selena theories. But reality is much simpler than online discussions. People grow. People move forward. And life continues beyond past relationships. Every few months, something happens online. A throwback photo goes viral. A fan edit resurfaces. A random old interview gets trending again. And suddenly the same question returns. Does Justin still love Selena? But here's the truth. Most of these moments are not new information. They are old memories being recycled by the internet. And social media algorithms push emotional content because it gets engagement. So the cycle continues. Memory viral post theory, debate, repeat. Psychologists explain something very important. First, intense emotional relationships leave a long-lasting imprint. Not because the person is still in love, but because the experience shaped emotional development. Justin and Selena both experienced fame at a young age, emotional intensity, public pressure, constant media attention. This combination creates strong emotional memory, but memory does not equal present emotion. And this is where many fans misunderstand the situation. Just because something was important does not mean it is still active. Selena is not just a couple anymore. It is nostalgia. It represents a simpler internet era, teenage emotional connection, early social media romance culture, a perfect couple fantasy. For many fans, Selena is not about Justin and Selena anymore. It is about how they felt during that time. That emotional connection keeps the story alive even today. So when fans say, backhand index pointing right, they still belong together. Sometimes they are not talking about reality. They are talking about emotion. We also cannot ignore how online media shapes this narrative. Headlines like, Justin still loves Selena. Shocking hidden truth revealed. This changes everything. These are designed for attention, not accuracy. Because emotional stories get clicks. And Selena is one of the most emotional topics in pop culture history. So every few months, the cycle gets revived again, even without any real new development. If we remove emotions, fan theories, and media exaggeration, the reality becomes clearer. Justin Bieber is married and living a separate life. Selena Gomez is focused on her own journey, career, and personal growth. Both have evolved as individuals. And the most grounded truth is this. Backhand index pointing right, their relationship belongs to the past. Backhand index pointing right, their lives belong to the present. Backhand index pointing right, and their futures are separate. This does not erase their history, but it does define their reality. So maybe the real question was never, does Justin still love Selena? Maybe the real question is, why do we still need them to have unfinished love? Because sometimes we don't want the story to end. We want it to continue forever. But in real life, stories do end. People grow, and memories become just memories. And maybe that's the hardest truth to accept. Selena is not a current love story. It is a chapter in pop culture history that millions of people emotionally wrote together. And that's why it still feels alive, even when it is not.